Hello guys, welcome to PC Drills. Today we'll be seeing how to download and install Kali Linux on a virtual machine on our Windows 10. So we head over to our browser, and the website to download Kali Linux is kali.org/downloads, which takes you directly to the downloads page. Once on the download page, you can see Kali has many options. Each option you might see here has a particular purpose. So one option will not work like the other option, so you need to be sure of what you're downloading. But there are some cases that are interchangeable, like the Kali that you install on your machine can still be the same one that you install on a virtual machine. The first option we have is the 64-bit version installer. This one is a 32-bit installer, 64-bit live, 32-bit live. The difference between the installer and the live is because before you run the installer, you must have installed it on your machine. So it must be installed on your hard disk before it can run. But for the live, you can run it without installing, so you can run it from a bootable flash drive directly without installing. These other net installers are those versions that you don't download the full operating systems, but you use the internet while installing. It gets all its packages online during the installation process. So for VMware, if you are downloading for VMware, you have options for VMware, the 64-bit and the 32-bit. VirtualBox the same, 64-bit and a 32-bit version for the Kali Linux operating system. Today we are going to download and install on VMware, but instead of me downloading the VMware version, I'll download the 64-bit installer because I want to use it again for my dual boot. So I'm going to download this one. To download, you simply click on the torrent. Once clicked on the torrent, so to download, you can simply click on open with. If you have uTorrent installed on your machine, simply click on OK. uTorrent will help you do the job in downloading Kali. So Kali here is being downloaded as a torrent, not just as an operating system like normal files. So if I click OK, it loads me up uTorrent. And once here, I simply click on OK for it to download. But actually I already have this operating system, so I don't need to download the operating system again. For you, you are going to download, and when you are done downloading, you come back, we continue. Now that I have already my Kali Linux downloaded, I head over to my downloads folder where it's located. You can see I have Kali Linux 2020 1B installer, AMD 64 ISO. That's the name of the folder that comes with the torrent, and inside I have my ISO file. Here you have the SHA-256 some file, which is just for authentication. So Once downloaded, you can check to see if it matches with the one you found online on the Kali Linux website, just for authentication. So to install on VMware, I simply open up my VMware workstation player, simply double click. Once opened, I click on create new virtual machine, select install this image file ISO. I browse to my installer that I just downloaded, and it's found in the downloads folder. Then I select my ISO file. Then I click on next. Here I choose Linux. I choose Ubuntu. Version as Ubuntu, since there's no Kali Linux among my options here. I choose Ubuntu. I choose next. Here I give a name to my virtual machine. You can give any name that you wish to give to the virtual machine, and that's the name you will be seeing where the files of your virtual machine are being located in your machine. So I will name mine Kali 2020. After naming, you choose where you want it to be stored. Normally now my C drive doesn't have enough space, so I'm going to use a different drive. So I browse to where I want it to be stored. I want it to be stored in this Avino drive, and I click OK. I click on next. Here I choose the space for my virtual machine. You can choose any amount of space, but at least 10 GB should be okay for your normal functioning of the Kali Linux installation, so that you can install all your dependencies without any issues. I will take 20 GB, which is a default given by VMware here. So I simply click on next. Here I can see the name of the virtual machine that I'm creating, Kali 2020, the location where it will be stored, then the version of VMware, the operating system type that I choose, Ubuntu, then the hard disk space I've given to it 20 GB, and then the memory is 1 GB, and then the network adapter options is not, but this 1 GB will be too small, so it will be slow. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to add it to 2 GB. Click on customize hardware. I add on this arrow, points to 2 GB. Then I click on close. Here you can see that's added normal 1024, but 2048. Now I click on finish. It creates the virtual machine. Then we now install it. Now it has finished creating, so we simply click on play virtual machine to start our installation. Here I simply choose graphical install. You can also choose just normal install, advanced options. They will work slightly the same, but graphical install, with the graphics you can easily know or get familiar with the presentation you are getting from the operating system. So I choose graphical install by simply pressing enter on my keyboard. Here it loads the various files of the operating system, so we wait. The first step we have in our installation process here, we have to choose our language. We choose English language, click on continue. You choose your country location. Here you can change to where you are from. I will simply allow United States. Then you select your keyboard configuration. If you have a French keyboard, an English keyboard, any of these keyboards listed here, you simply choose the option you have for yourself. Here I'm having an English keyboard, so I click on continue. Here we have to configure the network. So any name you give here on your network, let's say you are connected on a LAN, your machine will have that name that you are about to give it. You write any word, but it should be in small letters and no spaces. Click on continue. Then if your company has a domain name, you can give it here, but I'm not setting up any company network, so I don't have any domain name, so I simply click on continue without filling any domain name. Then here I have to set up a user account, so I give the full name of the user. For the full name of the user, you can put any name with spaces, caps. It doesn't disturb. Put PC Drills all in caps. I click on continue. Then the username for my account is supposed to be just small letters. So here I'm going to put back PC Drills as my username, but all as a single word and in small letters. And password, here you type in a password that's confidential, anything that you remember that's not easily guessed, and let your password try to meet some of the specifications that are recommended for a good password. But I will just put PC Drills for simplicity reasons. Password, simply put PC Drills and repeat PC Drills. You can complicate the password as you like. So I simply click next. And for the time zone, you can choose a time zone that matches your country. Here, since we are installing on the virtual machine with the space that we dedicated for the machine, which are dedicated about 20 gigabytes, here using the entire disk is the option I will take. But if we were doing but a dual boot, is where things get tricky. We won't follow the same process if we were to use dual boot. But now that we are using virtual machine VMware to install, I simply use entire disk, guided use entire disk. Simply click on continue, and the entire disk it talks about here is a 20 gigabytes I gave for the machine. Here is showing the partition I'm using, although it's 21.5 gigabyte as you can see, but it's actually the 20 gigabyte I calculated for the Kali Linux installation. so I just click on continue. Then here I simply take all files in one partition. I click on continue. Then I click continue without any editing. Here they're asking for me to write changes to text. I simply take yes. Then now this is the base installation, and it's going to take some time, and it depends on the specifications you gave your virtual machine. I gave 2 GB of RAM, so it will be slower than someone who gave maybe 4 GB or 8. So you just have to hold on and wait for it to complete. Latest version of Kali, they have implemented different environments that you have to choose. You can choose anyone that you wish to install, and it simply helps you in the display of your desktop after installation. So all the files you have here, you can install all of them, but the only issue is the installation time. So if you add all, it takes longer time. Install just the default, takes a shorter time. But I like this Kali desktop environment, has a lot of good features, looks pretty cool, so I'm going to add it to my own installation. Other tools by purpose, I'm going to allow them for the purpose of this video, but if you need, you can simply check the box. Click on continue, and the installation now will take a longer time, so I have to wait. We are going to pause the video and come back after when it's done. After you get this message, it means our installation has been done successfully, so you simply have to continue. Now that we have finished the installation, so you simply choose the first option when a machine starts up, and if you had to do any system repairs, then you can choose the advanced option. When you see this panel, you simply have to put your username, and remember the username we have is different from the full name, so we have to put in here, but your username, the one that has just small letters and no spaces. Put in your username, and then you fill in your password. Simply log in, and we are cool with our installation. Everything loads up very well. Here our machine loads up perfectly, so our installation hasn't got any errors. You can open up your terminal. You can also view the list of applications that are found in the Kali installation that we just did by clicking on this top left icon. You can even try seeing if the internet connection is working by using the ping. You can ping maybe Google. Everything works okay. So thank you for watching. That's all about this video, and we wish it was helpful, and we hope on seeing your comments. Please like, subscribe, and recommend to others. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.